I first saw Sierra on a crisp autumn morning, her silhouette framed by amber light filtering through the cafe window. She was radiant, her posture confident, eyes alight with ambition. When our gaze met, I felt a curious pull, a mixture of admiration and longing. In that moment, I knew I wanted more than a passing conversation over coffee. We talked about careers, dreams, and the small tragedies that shape a person's path. At the time, I had no inkling of the complexities marching behind her smile. A few weeks later, Sierra invited me to dinner at her parents' house. The invitation felt significant, tender yet tinged with vulnerability. As I stepped through the front door, rich smells of southern cooking filled the air. Laughter echoed down the hallway. Sierra's mother greeted me with warmth, her eyes kind but curious. Sierra's father offered a respectful nod. There was an unspoken question in their gaze. Who was this man, claiming space in their daughter's life? Later, Sierra pulled me aside in a quiet corner of the hallway, her voice soft. "There's someone important you haven't met," she said. My heart raced as she led me through a pair of French doors into a small bedroom. A little girl with curly hair and bright eyes peeked over a pile of stuffed animals. She was silent, curious, cautious. Sierra whispered her name, Hai Mai. Heart clenched. She was 4 years old, the daughter of a man named Jalen who had vanished when love turned to ruin. Sierra's confession fell into the warm air. Hai had been raised by her grandparents ever since that bitter fallout. I remember the moment I realized choice mattered more than circumstance. I looked at Hai's uncertain expression, at Sierra's hesitant resolve. I saw not a complication, but a testament to survival. Resilience, forged through pain and loss. Sierra looked at me, searching my face. I reached out, gently placed a hand on Haya's shoulder, and smiled. "If we're serious," I said, voice steady, "I won't just love you. I'll step up for Hai, too." Love was a promise, but loyalty was a choice, and in that choice lay the foundation of my seat at their table. In the days that followed, I immersed myself in fatherhood lessons. I learned the small rituals of care, preparing pancakes with just the right dollop of syrup, tucking blankets around sleepy shoulders, listening to Hai whisper imaginative stories in half-formed sentences. Each moment built trust, brick by brick, heart by heart. Sierra watched from the doorway, sometimes smiling, sometimes biting her lip, as if still gauging my sincerity. Yet every morning, Hai ran to my side, stretching up to hug me with tiny arms that wrapped around my waist. Through laughter and tears, we built a new rhythm. Hai's giggles filled our apartment as we played board games, her small hands eager to roll dice and claim the first turn. I cheered her triumphant bows at preschool recitals, camera ready to capture each note of her shy song. When nightmares hijacked her sleep, I lay beside her, humming lullabies until her breath evened out. At every scraped knee, I knelt down, wiped tears with gentle fingers, and whispered stories of bravery and kindness to coax a smile back to her face. Of course, there were nights when doubt crept in. I wondered if I was enough, if my declared devotion could match the fierce bond she shared with her mother. Sierra carried silent scars of heartbreak and fear of abandonment. I learned to speak in soft reassurances, to mirror her strength with steady support. I made a vow that if Hai ever questioned my commitment, my past failures, or my capacity to protect her daughter, I would stand firm. My seat at their table would not be taken for granted. One evening, as we sat on the porch watching stars emerge, Hai nestled between us with drooping eyelids. Sierra's head rested against my shoulder, her fingers entwined with mine. In that quiet expanse, I realized the gravity of my choice to love someone who carried a piece of another life. someone whose story began before I arrived. Yet in that moment, Sierra leaned into me with a soft sigh. "Thank you," she whispered, "for choosing me, for choosing her." I kissed her, forehead, breathing in the night air, my resolve deepening. Love requires more than affection. It demands courage, the courage to claim space in another's world, and the humility to honor their history. Every sacrifice I imagined seemed small compared to the gift they entrusted me with, their trust. As I tucked high into bed that night, I quietly promised to protect her laughter, to guard her dreams, and to earn my seat every single day. In her peaceful face, I saw our new beginning, one shaped by chosen love, unwavering devotion, and the profound power of faith in what we could build together. From that evening forward, I carried my vow like a shield and a pledge. Every challenge would face our family unity. Every joy would prove its worth. I understood that earning my seat meant consistent action, unwavering presence, and the dedication to be the father Haye deserved. When Sierra and I stood at the altar, I felt my heart swell with purpose. The soft clink of silver bells and the hushed breaths of our guests seemed to echo a promise in the air. I was committing to more than marriage. I was committing to a family already in motion. As we exchanged vows, I glanced at Haye, perched in a front-row seat between her grandparents, clutching a small bouquet nearly as big as she was. In that moment, I knew I couldn't simply be a partner to Sierra. I had to be a father to Haye. I resolved then to invite her fully into our home, into our lives, and into my heart. A week after the wedding, Sierra and I sat at the kitchen table, sunlight cutting through the morning haze. She passed me a folded letter. "They've agreed," she said, voice trembling. "My parents will hand over guardianship papers." My pulse quickened. I unfolded the crisp paper to see the details, legal arrangements. Haye would move in with us, with my name officially listed as her guardian alongside Sierra's. A surge of exhilaration and humility washed over me. When we told Haye that afternoon, her initial surprise gave way to shy excitement. She nodded, so solemnly I thought her head might tilt clean off her shoulders. "Will I get my own room?" she asked. I laughed, ruffled her curls, and said, "Every corner of this house is yours." From that day forward, I poured myself into fatherhood.